World News of the Week, 19th of August to 25th of August. A compact week in review. Ukraine cuts off Russian troops by destroying bridges in Kursk Oblast. Ukrainian forces have reportedly destroyed the third and final bridge over the Seym River in the village of Kursk, located in Russia's Kursk region. This operation has effectively cut off Russian troops from supply routes in the Hlashkivsky district, according to the Russian telegram channel Astra. The destruction of these bridges has led to the evacuation of district residents by boat and could potentially trap Russian units in a nearly 700 square kilometer area south of the Seym River.
On August 16th, Ukrainian forces demolished the largest bridge in Hleshkov, followed by another bridge in Zvanoy on August 17th. Mykola Oleszczuk, the commander of Ukraine's Air Force, confirmed these strikes. According to Ukrainian military analyst Vasyl Pekno, between 700 and 800 Russian paratroopers may now be trapped due to these strategic bridge demolitions.
Ukraine has also targeted Russian pontoon bridges in Kursk, aiming to destroy them before they can be constructed. Ukraine's Special Operations Forces claimed their soldiers accurately destroy these pontoon bridges, reinforcing their strategy to isolate Russian forces in the region.
Satellite imagery and reports from Ukrainian forces indicate that these attacks have effectively disrupted Russian attempts to rebuild critical crossings over the Seym River. The destruction of the bridges appears to be a deliberate tactic to encircle Russian troops between Ukrainian-controlled territory, the Ukrainian border, and the river itself.
Ukraine's military operations in Kursk have captured almost 500 square miles of territory, establishing a military headquarters and signaling intentions to maintain control in the area. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed plans to create a buffer zone in the region, further indicating a long-term strategic interest in maintaining this territorial gain.
These actions are part of a broader Ukrainian strategy to weaken Russian supply lines and isolate their forces, leveraging both direct military strikes and strategic territorial control to gain an upper hand in the ongoing conflict.
Moscow under attack. Russian air defenses repel major drone assault. Russian air defenses intercepted and shot down 10 drones over Moscow and its outskirts in one of the largest drone attacks on the capital to date, according to Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin. The attack was part of a broader overnight assault across Russia, with a total of 45 drones targeting various regions, including Bryansk, Belgorod, Kaluga, and Kursk.
Russia's defense ministry blamed Ukraine for the assault, which also included a missile intercepted over the Rostov region. While Ukraine has not commented on the drone attack, it did confirm striking a Russian S-300 anti-aircraft missile complex in Rostov.
This surge in cross-border attacks reflects Ukraine's intensifying efforts to take the fight into Russian territory, as evidenced by an ongoing incursion into the Kursk and Belgorod regions that has left the Kremlin scrambling. Atlantic Ocean's sudden temperature shift mystifies scientists. For over a year, the Atlantic Ocean's surface temperatures were breaking records, reaching up to 9 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Celsius, above average in some regions. However, this trend reversed abruptly over the past few months, with temperatures cooling at a surprising rate since May. By June, sea surface temperatures were actually colder than normal for that time of year, puzzling scientists who are unsure of the cause behind this rapid change.
The earlier spike in temperatures was attributed to a combination of human-induced climate change and a particularly strong El Niño in 2023 and 2024. This weather phenomenon typically results in warmer ocean waters due to altered wind patterns and solar heating. However, with the El Niño phase now seemingly over, experts anticipate the emergence of La Niña, which could bring colder conditions as early as September.
The cooling has left researchers like Franz Philipp Tuchon from the University of Miami searching for answers. We've gone through the list of possible mechanisms, and nothing checks the box so far, Tuchon explained. The sudden shift is especially concerning given the environmental impacts tied to the preceding heat wave, including widespread coral bleaching that stressed over 99% of the Atlantic's tropical reefs. Coral bleaching, caused by changes in ocean conditions, expels the algae living in coral, leading to stark white reefs and reduced biodiversity, weakening natural coastal defenses.
Beyond affecting ocean temperatures, phenomena like El Niño and La Niña have broader implications, including economic losses and increased disease incidence globally. El Niño, for example, has been linked to trillions of dollars in GDP loss worldwide and has exacerbated the spread of diseases due to longer wet seasons.
As the Atlantic continues to cool, scientists remain vigilant, aiming to understand the factors behind these rapid temperature changes and their potential long-term impacts on the environment and global economy.
Taliban imposes new restrictions on women's voices and public behavior in Afghanistan. Afghanistan's Taliban regime has implemented stringent new vice and virtue laws that significantly restrict the visibility and audibility of women in public spaces. These rules, approved by Supreme Leader Hibatullah Akhundzada, encompass various aspects of daily life, such as public transportation, music, and social interactions.
A key component of these laws, Article 13, mandates that women must fully veil their bodies in public, with an emphasis on face coverings to prevent temptation. Women's clothing must not be thin, tight, or short, and they are required to cover themselves even in the presence of non-Muslim men and women to avoid corruption. The Taliban has also deemed a woman's voice as intimate, banning women from singing, reciting, or reading aloud in public. Additionally, it forbids women from looking at men to whom they are not related by blood or marriage, and vice versa.
The 114-page document represents the first formal codification of vice and virtue laws since the Taliban's return to power in 2021. It empowers the Ministry for the Propagation of Virtue and the Prevention of Vice to enforce these regulations, which include banning music, the mixing of unrelated men and women, and the transportation of solo female travelers. The ministry also mandates specific times for prayer during travel and has the authority to issue punishments for violations.
The new regulations have sparked significant concern among international observers. A recent UN report criticized the ministry for fostering a climate of fear and intimidation, and expressed alarm over its expanding role in Afghan society. The report highlighted concerns for the well-being of all Afghans, particularly women and girls, under these increasingly restrictive measures. Despite these criticisms, the Taliban has dismissed the UN's findings, maintaining that their laws promote virtue and eliminate vice in line with Islamic principles.
Mass stabbings at German festival. Suspect surrenders and confesses. A 26-year-old Syrian man has surrendered to police and confessed to a mass knife attack at a street festival in Solingen, Germany, leaving 3 people dead and 8 others injured. The attack occurred during a celebration of the city's 650-year history. German authorities have launched an investigation into the suspect's potential involvement with a terrorist organization.
The Islamic State group claimed responsibility for the attack, but provided no evidence linking the group to the assailant. The victims, all stabbed in the neck, included 2 men aged 56 and 67, and a 56-year-old woman. 4 of the injured remain in serious condition.
The suspect, who arrived in Germany from Syria in December 2022, turned himself in wearing blood-stained clothes. Police also arrested a 15-year-old boy who allegedly knew about the attack in advance and detained another person at a refugee center associated with the suspect.
Following the attack, Solingen authorities cancelled the 3-day festival and asked residents to leave the area. The tragedy has left the city in mourning, with local residents paying tribute to the victims with flowers and candles. Chancellor Olaf Scholz condemned the attack as a horrific act, and Bundesliga football players wore black armbands in honor of the victims.